This is the f***ing one that Jimmy Dore keeps citing. Keeps saying things like that. They throw out these numbers and you're like, whoa, reduces deaths up to 90%. Hey, you know what reduces infections or prevents infections by 93 to 96%? The vaccine. The FDA approved vaccine. The free one. You can get right now, America. Okay, if you need a quick introduction to the ivermectin, allow me to do one shameless plug because yeah, A, I have no shame, and B, I haven't really done self-promos too much. All right, all 225 of you, join my YouTube poop channel because it's where I make YouTube poops. So if you wanna see what Lance has been inspired by lately, go click on this stuff because it'll help you out and it'll teach you the truth about ivermectin. But anyways, here's a quick recap to the ivermectin situation in case anyone doesn't know what's going on yet.
I'm going to be talking about ivermectin, and I'm going to be talking about the alternative therapies to treat COVID. And isn't it funny Dr. Fauci never mentions ivermectin? Isn't it funny Dr. Fauci never mentions the fact that we could have cut the deaths from COVID by a third if we had Medicare for all? Isn't that interesting, Ron, that Dr. Fauci never mentions Medicare for all or ivermectin? Is that interesting?
Yeah, I mean, and I'll say this just for like the safety of the show and the segment. I am not a doctor. I do not have a medical degree. I am not endorsing anything. I am this conversation is for entertainment purposes only. I think we covered it.
Ivermectin はあなたの人生を幸せにし、陰茎の病気を蹴る唯一の治療法です。ジミー・ドアや他の多くの人たちと一緒に。
If any of you don't understand, that basically says Jimmy Dore wants you to drink the horse juice. Now, if that didn't explain the situation thoroughly, I'm pretty sure all of you now know what's going on with ivermectin, right? If not, I have one more primer that I've also prepared for the class.
Already so ramped up.
Like, can we talk about ivermectin?
Yeah, sure.
So I covered it, what they did in Mexico City, and ivermectin seems to be a drug that not only treats it, but it will prevent you from getting it.
There was hundreds of doctors, and then there was a percentage of them that used ivermectin as a prophylactic, and there's a percentage that did not. The percentage that did not, half of the doctors roughly, or half of the healthcare workers got COVID. The percentage that did use it as a prophylactic, 100% did not get it. Now, I don't know if they got lucky. This is why you need a large study, and it's a long-term study.
People are like, why did you trust the government? No, I don't trust the government. You trust Big Pharma? No, I don't trust Big Pharma. I trusted my doctor.
Nay.
My doctor who saved my life. Ivermectin seems to be a drug that not only treats it, but it will prevent you from getting it.
So hopefully that explained the entire situation. Everyone's caught up now, right? I don't need to do a recap. If you want, you can watch the videos that I've done. We were calling out this ivermectin shit like, I don't know, like a month ago. As soon as I saw the entire intellectual dark web doing a tour on this, I mean, Brett Weinstein was the first one, then came Jordan Peterson. If Dave Rubin was still on the air, even though he's off watching Thanos snap penises, but if he was still on the air, then Dave Rubin surely would be talking about ivermectin. But all of them are right now. It's just like, it's the whole cycle, right? And then it comes from on down high. And then people who usually have a little bit more credibility in these spaces and do their due diligence still have to come out and defend the news cycle. So you've got Glenn Greenwald still being, well, you understand that this is actually approved for FDA use, or historically, Isha from Historically came out and was like, well, it's actually been approved for FDA use. Yes, as a horse dewormer, not as a cure for COVID. In fact, in parts of the world where they are using ivermectin, Central and South America, they're trying to do double-blind testing, scientific testing, and Americans are making this increasingly harder now because of the clown choosery. Washington County inmates offered ivermectin for COVID-19. It's not been approved by the FDA for treating and preventing COVID-19. Wasn't that the reason so many of these people weren't taking the vaccine, by the way? It's like, I'm not going to take the vaccine. It hasn't been approved by the FDA. I demand FDA approval. The sheriff's office learned Tuesday that Dr. Robert Carras has been offering ivermectin to inmates who test positive for COVID-19. Eva Madison, Washington County for Justice for Peace, said she has raised the issue with the sheriff. She brought her concerns to Washington County Finance and Budget meeting. The sheriff was aware, endorsed it, then put me in touch with Rob Carras himself. Although ivermectin is not approved to treat or prevent COVID-19, it is approved for other conditions like parasitic infections. I mean, the good news is it's under the supervision of a doctor, which to me is a lot better than what else has been going on. It's approved for, yes, and fine. If a doctor is the one prescribing it to people, it's most likely the doctor prescribing an adult dose and an adult amount, and it hasn't been adulterated with other products. If you buy ivermectin for horses and you buy the paste because that's all you have access to because you don't have a doctor prescribing you ivermectin, so you're just buying the stuff for animals, you might be buying a paste that has a whole bunch of other chemicals in it, in amongst them ivermectin. And also applesauce, peach flavorings, and a whole bunch of other shit that you probably shouldn't be putting inside your body. And that's where things get dangerous. Because again, people are scared, and people listen to podcasts, people listen to Joe Rogan, people watch Jimmy Dore, and they're like, I don't have the money to go see a doctor, but I've heard there's a miracle cure. There's a miracle cure. Dr. Dore has told me. Dr. Rogan has told me. So I should go seek it out. Now, it turns out I can't just get my hands on it, but animals can. And animals don't need the animal doctor to prescribe them this ivermectin paste or ivermectin pills. So maybe I'm going to buy the stuff intended for animals, and I'll take it, and I can cure what ails me. It obviously has a host of problems that come along with it. Got into a private ivermectin horse dewormer group, so he passed the test, and everyone is pooping their pants. I started the preventative regimen of ivermectin based on the FLCCC guidelines, and I literally shit myself at the grocery store today. Is this normal? I want to protect myself, but like, is this just like the early toxins leaving, or... The early toxins leaving? Oh, man. Good. The toxins are leaving my body. Hey, everyone, don't flip out. Don't flip out. This is not what it looks like. The toxins are leaving me. I'm not publicly shitting myself right now. These are the toxins leaving my... This is good for me. It's good for you too. Try ivermectin. All right. I got slammed with a bad cold last weekend and woke up the second day with a fever and couldn't taste or smell. I went to urgent care and got a rapid lab PCR test, and both were negative. My fever has just been gone for 3 days and I'm feeling much better. Just a little congestion remains. I contacted an online doctor to get ivermectin just in case, of course. He prescribed cholecystine, prednisone, and ivermectin. I've had a col and pred for 2 days, and I started the ivermectin yesterday. Today I'm running to the bathroom, and it's not to pee. Both the col and the ivermectin can cause that. I don't think the online doctor will help because he hasn't responded to my message from 2 days ago. Okay, at first I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let it go. Because online doctor, there's just this horrifying economic barrier between the ability, especially for Americans, to get proper healthcare. So the idea of using online doctors, I'm not against. I'm not against online psychiatry. I'm not against anything like that. Anything that makes it more accessible to more people, I'm okay with. That's different than an online doctor, right? Like, yes, no, I am certainly a doctor. Dr. Sebastian Gorka, MD. Yes, trust me, please. Money. Yes, yes. Oh no, my credentials? Just click on my blog 3.0 to find out. I've been approved by the Mexican Council of Food to perform medicine. Has anyone had this problem and found out that it helps with the diarrhea? Since I'm feeling better, do I risk a relapse if I stop ivermectin? Do you think you're addicted to ivermectin? As in, if you stop taking the ivermectin, you will shit more? No, God, the poison, the toxins won't stop leaving my body. I get strong diarrhea for about a day each time I take a 50 milligram dose. This has happened with each 2-week dose now since January. Some people, it sounds like, do not have this side effect. What does it suggest about my body that I do? For those knowledgeable about the intestinal flora, should I be worried about the impact ivermectin is having on my gut microbiome? I'm considering switching the HCQ for prophylaxis until I know about exposure of the symptoms. And jokes aside, and I'm joking only because thank you for blurring all the names. It's so sad. The whole thing is so very sad because these people, they want help and they think this is going to help them. Ivermectin use in pregnancy? Like, oh, see, now it's just turned dark. Absolutely dark. I can't vaccine shit your pants in public. Oh, no. No. Oh, wow. I started preventative regimens of ivermectin based on the FLC. Oh yeah, that's the one I was like. This is the ones we read out. I took ivermectin and nothing changed. How much did you take? I took colloidal silver, and it sometimes makes me kind of ruddy and bubbly. Ew. But not like I shit myself. Maybe because I took them at the same time. It's very likely you had the parasites. Very likely you shouldn't be taking medical advice from Facebook strangers. Oh my god, thank god I took it then. Should I just keep taking it, wait for the diarrhea to stop? Take it with a fatty snack or meal or an empty stomach if is for treating parasites? What the fuck? No, don't take medical advice from Facebook strangers. These will hurt you. I would have thought I would have felt something, but it was just normal kind of leaky shit. No, stop. Please. All of you, stop. Stop. Too much. If the US had proper nationalized healthcare and people weren't doing anything cheap to prevent healthcare stuff, they wouldn't take ivermectin themselves. Well, that's the sad thing about all this. That's why, like, I'm having trouble non-stop laughing at this and just being like, oh, these, look at all these fools. Every single one of them. More foolish than the one that preceded them. When, like, at the end of the day, it's sad. It's more sad than it is funny. I know, like, I was talking to someone who was like, yeah, but I feel like the whole thing is kind of like evolution, bro. Don't you feel? Like, at the end of the day, like, if all these, like, you know, chuds are basically listening to Joe Rogan all day, and then they're taking ivermectin and shitting themselves to death, like, isn't that just, like, the natural order? And I was like, no, because it's like, these things fall probably most likely down poverty lines as well. People who don't have proper access to healthcare are the ones who are probably going to search out cheap alternative medicines. It's not just because, well, they're all rubes, every single one of them. From Nature magazine. Flawed ivermectin preprint highlights challenges of COVID drug studies. The study's withdrawal from a preprint platform deals a blow to the anti-parasite drug's chances of being a COVID treatment. Throughout the pandemic, the anti-parasite drug ivermectin has attracted attention, particularly in Latin America, as a potential way to treat COVID-19, but scientists say that recent shocking revelations of widespread flaws in the data of a preprint study reporting that the medication greatly reduces COVID-19 deaths, dampens ivermectin's promise, and highlights the challenges of adjusting drug efficacy during a pandemic. I was as shocked as everyone else in the scientific community probably were. The paper summarized the results of a clinical trial seemingly to show that ivermectin can reduce COVID-19 death rates by more than 90%. This is the fucking one that Jimmy Dore keeps citing. Keeps saying things like that. They throw out these numbers and you're like, whoa, reduces deaths up to 90%. Hey, you know what reduces infections or prevents infections by 93 to 96%? The vaccine. The FDA approved vaccine. The free one. You can get right now, America. Every American, you have access to it. You can go get it. 93 to 96% effective against infection. Just infection. I'm not talking about whether you get sick, you get coughy, you get sneezy, you get the flu, you get diarrhea, you get hospitalized. All those are different things. I'm just saying infection alone, okay? 93 to 96% effective. That sounds pretty damn good, you know? I would say take the vaccine and wait for the science to come back on the horse dewormer in terms of consuming it. Just throwing it out there. Do you want movies and Serfs watching the movies? So then come over to the new channels. It's the Serfs Cinema. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, you know, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like, just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks, why do older generations believe the things they believe? One of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our gods, Tigro and Peyton El Jus, we pray to you, our sky daddies, to keep us safe from harm. To our monarchs, Tom Spiker and the Tim Caucus, we shall humbly clean your golden toilets in your spatial palaces. To our lords, Ultra Wolf, Evan Nudie, Trevor R., Alexander Thaler, Ryan Lubin, and Jeff Lamb, we are eternally grateful for this small segment of land for us to toil and work. To our knights, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Ants Are Still Running the World, Coulter Smith, Val 9000, Jenna Tall, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojack, Sharon 42, Chronic to Hemphog, Catherine, Bone Jenny, Radical Maniac, Ramona Costa, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Jopi, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our glasses, we raise our swords, and we salute you, our friends. And to Lance, you are the wind beneath my wings.